What if I told you this baby's best friend was supposed to die in a cage on the other side of the world? Look at them. Golden curls, golden fur. Perfect matches, giggling and playing like they've known each other forever. But 2 years ago, this dog was starving in freezing snow at the Great Wall of China, forgotten and left to die. This is Wally. And this is the impossible story of how a tourist's split-second decision at one of the world's most famous landmarks saved not just a dog's life, but created the most beautiful friendship you've ever seen. 2 years ago, Cliff and Abby were tourists, just like thousands of others who visit the Great Wall of China every day. They came for the history, the majesty, the wonder of one of humanity's greatest achievements. They never expected to find heartbreak. You're standing before one of the world's most magnificent monuments to human achievement, ancient stones that have witnessed centuries of triumph and struggle. And there, in stark contrast to all that grandeur, is a cage. Inside that cage, a dog, no water, snow covering the ground, a so-called guard dog who was guarding nothing but his own survival, one freezing day at a time. Cliff and Abby looked at each other. In that moment, two hearts made the same decision simultaneously. This wasn't just a tourist encounter. This wasn't someone else's problem. This was their dog. They just hadn't met him yet. We have to apply 4 simple words that would change 3 lives forever. When they finally got him, Wally looked nothing like the magnificent creature you see today. Matted fur so severe they had to shave him completely. A skeletal frame that spoke of survival, not living. A spirit that had learned to expect nothing and hope for less. He weighed barely 65-70 pounds. For a dog who would eventually reach 135 pounds, he was literally half the dog he was meant to be. After months of paperwork, applications, and the kind of determination that moves mountains, Wally was ready to fly. From the ancient stones of China to a loving home in America. From surviving to truly living. Imagine experiencing softness for the first time. Imagine feeling carpet under your paws when you've only known concrete and dirt. Imagine someone saying, "This is where you live now. This is your house, buddy." For Wally, that first day wasn't just about getting a home. It was about discovering what home even meant. They called him Wally because they found him at the Great Wall. But there's something deeper in that name choice. The Great Wall was built to protect what was precious. And now, Wally would spend his life doing the same thing, protecting what was most precious to his new family. What happened next was nothing short of miraculous. This broken, forgotten dog began to bloom, not just physically, though he nearly doubled in size, but spiritually. His personality emerged like a flower reaching towards sunlight. Goofy, funny, joyful, everything that had been buried under survival instincts began to surface. The most beautiful transformation, discovering that he was safe enough to be silly. June brought news that would test Wally's capacity for love. Abby was pregnant. This rescue dog, who had learned to protect his new pack of 2, was about to learn what it meant to welcome a third. The day they brought her home from the hospital, something extraordinary happened. Wally approached this tiny, squirming bundle with the reverence of someone who understood he was witnessing a miracle. He didn't just accept her, he adopted her. "Hey, this is a new part of the family, and I've got to take care of her." Wally doesn't lick people. It's just not his thing. But with her, he gently sniffs the back of her head, licks her little hands, like he's blessing her, like he's saying, "You're mine to protect." Every morning became a celebration. Wally would jump into bed, where the baby was lying with her parents. The moment she saw him, pure magic. She would squeal with delight. That squeal became the sound of home, the sound of a family that found each other across continents and circumstances. As she began to crawl and explore, Wally became her personal jungle gym. this 135-pound dog would lie perfectly still while a tiny human climbed all over him, pulled his ears, used him as a pillow. His patience was infinite, his joy obvious. When she started eating solid food, Wally discovered his new favorite spot, directly under her high chair. Not begging, just waiting, just being part of the process, creating a cleanup crew of one, motivated by love and the occasional dropped piece of chicken. But beyond the cute moments and the photo opportunities, something profound was happening. This dog, who had spent the first part of his life just trying to survive, had found his purpose, protecting someone who couldn't protect herself. He became her watchdog, her guardian, her constant gentle presence that said, "Nothing will hurt you while I'm here." He just felt more complete and felt like he had someone that he really needed to protect, and that's her. This is the most beautiful part of Wally's story. He didn't just find a home, he didn't just find a family, he found his reason for being, his purpose, his calling. Wally's story teaches us that rescue isn't a one-way street. Yes, Cliff and Abby saved him from that cage at the Great Wall, but he saved them too. He brought them joy, laughter, and the incredible privilege of watching pure love in action every single day. And now he's teaching their daughter what it means to have someone who will always be there, always be patient, always be ready to catch whatever falls, whether it's food from a high chair or tears from a scraped knee. In a world that often feels divided, Wally's story reminds us that love recognizes no borders, that sometimes the most beautiful families are formed not by blood or proximity, but by two hearts recognizing each other across impossible distances. A dog in China, a couple from America, a baby who would complete them all, connected by something that transcends nationality, species, or circumstance. If Wally's transformation moves you, remember that there are dogs in cages around the world right now. Dogs who look nothing like the magnificent creatures they could become with love, care, and the chance to be part of a family. Maybe you can't travel to China. Maybe you can't navigate international adoption, but maybe you can support organizations that do. Maybe you can open your heart to a local rescue who needs the same thing Wally needed, someone to see their potential instead of their present circumstances. Wally's story reminds us that sometimes the most important walls aren't the ones built to keep things out. They're the ones built around our hearts, to keep love in.